Oops.
So it's live.
Good morning. My name's Angela Zambrano, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of the Central American Resource Center, Los Angeles. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone? My name's Angela Zambrano, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of the Central American Resource Center, Los Angeles. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone? My name's Angela Zambrano, and I'm the chair of the board of directors of the Central American Resource Center, Los Angeles. Good morning. I'm I'm also the co-executive director of the National Labor Organizing Network, NDLON, and I am joined this morning by members of the National TPS Alliance, which will I introduce in a minute. This morning, we are hosting this Google Hangout to denounce and discuss the racist comments made by Trump's chief of staff and former Secretary of Homeland Security, John Kelly, in the context of an NPR interview. Mr. Kelly stated that TPS holders from Haiti and Central America should have a pathway to citizenship. But in the same breath, he made strong racist statements. He said that undocumented immigrants do not have skills, they do not have education, they don't speak English, they do not assimilate into the United States modern society. In other words, Mr. Kelly was saying that people from these countries are not welcome to the United States. We want to remind Mr. Kelly that undocumented immigrants, like other immigrants, have contributed to the social, political, and economic fabric of this country. That the United States would not be what it is but for the labor and contributions of immigrants from all walks of life. If Mr. Kelly is serious about supporting a path to citizenship for TPS holders, which we agree with, we challenged him to move President Trump to support the American Promise Act of 2017, presented by Representative Nidia Velázquez of New York. The fact of the matter is that the cancellation of TPS by President Trump is illegal and it is immoral. The separation of families is inhumane, and it is a violation of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. And to comment on Mr. Kelly's statement and on the legitimate right of the TPS holders, the right that they have to receive a path to citizenship, we will hear from our panelists. There have been many of them have had TPS for over 15 years. And to make a comment on how the right that they've earned to the TPS recipients to receive citizenship. We have Sandra Granados from Nevada, and she is from El Salvador. Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, as she mentioned, I'm a Salvadorian. I've been in this country for almost 17 years, been protected by the status of TPS, which has allowed me to work legal and have made a family and been able to establish in all matters in this country. I'm a single mom of 3 kids, 3 girls. They are all in school, excellent students, and I'm a single mom of 3 kids, 3 girls. They are all in school. I'm sorry, I stopped because I was listening to myself twice. But anyways, I've been working for this company over 13 years, and which is one of the best casino hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada. And that says a lot of my desire to become part of this society, you know, making whatever it takes to be in the level that I am right now. Can you hear me? Because I'm listening to myself twice.
So how would it affect your family, Sandra, if
Listening to myself twice. Well, it's
we're
not the thing is that it won't affect. Waiting for it to affect, it's affecting it already, because my kids, since they heard, they've been having behavior issues. They are kind of depressed because they think their mom is gonna leave. As I told you, I'm a single mom, so I've been the support in all matters, and economical, moral, and everything. I've been their support. So they've been having some behavior issue like sadness. Sometimes they get frustrated because they want to, they have seen me, how I have worked hard to have, to become a member of this society. And now with this, they are uncertain what's gonna happen. They have seen me, how I have worked hard to have, to become a member of this society. And now this, they are uncertain what's gonna happen.
Sandra, what about your employer? I mean, is your employer, are they concerned about losing workers like you that have been trained? They are basically without your work. It would not be possible for them to even have their business open. Are they concerned at all about, are they supporting you as a worker, and are they concerned about you losing your ability to stay in this country?
Yes, they are concerned. And actually, the first time that when I joined the National Alliance of the TPS, I went and sit down to my manager and talked to him about the whole process, that I was going to be asking for extra days off to do whatever I had to do, go to meetings, so all that. And they said, whatever you have to do, we are with you. Actually, right now, I'm supposed to be working, and they let me take my break at this time just to be in this conversation, in this call right now, because they know there's a lot of people here in this industry that are working with the program with the TPS, and they are support. Some of them are supporting us to go for the fight. Are working with the program with the TPS, and they are, some of them are supporting us to go for the fight.
But that's great. That's actually we've a lot of the employers, especially the construction industry, they have expressed in the agricultural businesses, they have expressed the concern about the fact that the TPS was terminated, and that there's no solutions, permanent solutions coming forward from the Trump administration. And so this is why it's so important that we don't let any racist and statements made by this administration or his staff, like John Kelly, about not being welcome in this country. But what's interesting is that they realize that a lot of the employers are urging them to provide a permanent solution for TPS holders because of the fact that they will not be able to carry on with their businesses if will they lose their TPS workers. So it's encouraging that the employers, we actually need to make sure that the employers speak up and they contact Trump administration and make sure that they join the campaign, the National TPS Alliance campaign. And we have another member of the National TPS Alliance that have joined us. Good morning, Jose.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, my name is Jose Urias, and I'm from Boston, Massachusetts. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, this is Jose from Boston, Massachusetts. I'm a member of the community of Massachusetts and a part of the TPS Alliance.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, we can hear you. So, yes, Jose.
yes, I'm a member of the community of Massachusetts. Um, so I was saying, so I'm part to the TPS community of Massachusetts, and that I'm glad to be part of this on this memo. One of the reasons I want to be on is because the Joe Kelly was saying like people from TPS holders, we don't have a high education, so that's why we depends on the government. And I just want to give him an example. Um, I am a TPS holder. I've been living in the United States more than 20 years. Um, and I'm married. I have two kids. One is 11 years old, and one is 5 years old. And beyond on that, so since I get here, so I started working hard every single day. And even though I don't have a higher education due to the country that we coming from, sometimes we don't have a lot of opportunity to have a high education ourselves. But I'm just want to give an example. I mean, and I just like I'm going to represent a thousand of TPS holders. As a person that don't have a high education, I did create two business. Now my two business, they are very successful. So that's me. Not because you don't have a high education, you cannot be successful in life. So we can do if you determine to work hard every day and be part of this community and just get up every single day and just work for you to achieve your dreams. And I think everything is being possible, at least for me and my family. I was, like 8 months ago, I was thinking I already achieved the American dream. The only thing I realized I wasn't um, my immigration status. We're gonna have an issue. So I always was thinking just to grow up my business. I never think about on what to do on my immigration status until President Trump started to cancel the TPS. Now I'm just joining the campaign and showed them they wrong. We don't depend on the government and we apport to the country. And now, I mean, again, we have a two successful business, and I employ almost 30 people that depends on my company. To me, I think is we can prove that even though we don't have a high education, we can achieve whatever we want, and we don't depend on the government.
Well, Jose, you're an example of another example of the immigrants that have contributed to this country. And we said earlier that the United States would not be the country that it is was not for the labor and the contributions that us as immigrants have made to this country. So that's why it's really, we have to denounce the races because it is racism. I mean, when they say that we don't speak English and we don't have an education, and that in essence they're saying that we are not welcome because of that, because we cannot be integrated, we cannot be assimilated into this modern society. Well, how much more modern do we want to see immigrants like yourself, Jose, that have not built successful businesses, and like Sandra, that is contributing, with her work and making and to the employers that are actually would not be able to open businesses if it was not for the labor of immigrants. So we have to. This is why it's important. We're having this Google Hangout to educate ourselves, educate the people of this country, to basically push back on this racist, xenophobic statements that are made by the Trump administration and their the staff. And in fact, like Sandra was saying, that if Mr. Kelly is serious about supporting TPS beneficiaries receiving a path to citizenship, that there is a legislation. It was introduced by Representative Nidia Velasquez of New York, and it's called the American Promise Act of 2017. If Mr. Kelly is serious about supporting a path to citizenship for TPSianos, he should motivate and insist that President Trump support legislation. So we want to continue having these Google Hangouts and inviting our friends, TPS beneficiaries, and our friends from El Salvador, Honduras, and Haiti to join us, because we actually, there are a number of countries, including Haiti, Nicaragua, Sudan, that have their TPS have been terminated, and it is affecting 46,000 Haitians, 2,550 Nicaraguans, 1,040 Sudanese immigrants, and about 195,000 Salvadorians, many of whom have had U.S. citizen children. In fact, there's estimated that the TPS holders have had 192,000 children who are U.S. citizens. So it is unfair, humane, to separate families. So how would that affect your family, Jose, if they do not move to adopt legislation where you can stay permanently in this country? How would it affect your family?
Definitely is going to affect our family tremendously. Not just my family, it's the other family, the people who work for our company. So it's not just my family. It's going to be, they're going to be affected about this situation that we have if we don't pass anything. So it's very, it's urgent to then do something and pass the legislation and give us a path to the residents. That's what we're looking for. We don't ask for nothing for free. I mean, I think after 18 years, I don't think this situation it's temporary. I don't think I built my family on temporary status. I built my family to be part of this country, and I'm very integrated to that community. I'm part to the successful business owner on this country and TPS holder. I think we deserve to get a permanent resident, and they can pass a resolution.
That's right. They certainly can pass legislation that that would provide a path to citizenship to TPS holders. They have earned their citizenship. They have earned their permanent residence, and so we will continue to work to make sure that that we get a permanent residence and a path to citizenship. So I want to thank you, and I want to congratulate everyone that has participated in this Google Hangout, and we are going to follow up with a series of Google Hangouts to inform the community about what is going on with the Trump administration. Here in California, I am here at Carecen in Los Angeles. And today we received the information of the meeting that President Trump had with several mayors of cities from California and sheriffs and other elected officials, basically that are filing a lawsuit to against California to expand the California Values Act, which provides sanctuary here in California. So we are going to continue to unify our efforts and make sure that we continue to defend our familias and continue to defend the rights that we have earned with our work and the contributions that we make, the cultural contributions and our energy, and so we continue to work together. And we want to thank everybody for joining us, and we'll stay tuned for the next Google Hangout. Buenos días. Hasta pronto.